Pastor Roy Gerhardt from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Well, I may look like I'm in a beehive this morning with bees buzzing all around me, but it's actually just a swarm of gnats here around my camera. I'm just hoping I don't suck one down my throat in the middle of all of this. Sometimes life can feel like we're being swarmed, and it's like, get away from me, and trying to just push off all of these things that just swarm all over you in life, and are annoying distractions. Seem like you're going to go crazy with them. Well, I am amazed in the Bible whenever I look at the life of King David. David lived at a point when he had so many things swarming around him. He even had King Saul trying to kill him. And there's something about David that he is able to hold it together, that he responds to all of these things just buzzing in his face, threatening to choke him up, and in a way that is just out of this world. And it really is. You know, the key to David and to understanding him is to see the way in which he recognizes that his life is in God's hands. I tell you what, this is the real secret of every follower of God, every believer who lives their life with some peace and calm in the midst of this crazy world that we're in, is that they recognize that their life is in God's hands. And David knows that he didn't come up with the idea of being king. David was out taking care of sheep, and who knows what the aspirations of his life were. He may have had no greater expectations than to live out his days as a shepherd, and there enjoying making music for the sheep and for his own benefit, and just spending time with the Lord there in that solitude. And he may have had just no greater plan of life than that. But he knew then that God had come up with this plan, surprised him, anointed him to be the next king. But because David always kept it in mind that his life was not his own design, that it was not in his own hands, David was able to trust God and have this kind of stress-free attitude about being king, that he didn't have to make himself king. He didn't have to generate that. He didn't have to maintain it. He just had to let God be in charge in his life. Saul, on the other hand, Saul had to try to make it happen. He sees that. He could not let himself simply be in God's hands and let God work it out. And so he created constantly stress and aggravation in his own mind. Sorry, they're getting to me. But David has this peace and this release. He doesn't have to meet a schedule. He doesn't have to have this timetable fulfillment. He doesn't have to make himself king. He doesn't have to maintain it. He just has to let God be in charge in his life. Think about your own life for a minute. Do you live your life like David or like Saul? Oh, a lot of my life I have lived like Saul. There was even years that went by where I wanted to serve God in a certain role. In fact, I believe, and with all my heart, still to this day, that God planted that desire in my heart, that he had me desiring to preach and to serve him in just a certain way. But then I was obsessed with that. I kept wanting it. Even if I didn't take action to try to make it happen, I was constantly trying to figure out, how can I make this happen? And I was constantly frustrated, even angry with God for not making it happen, because I thought there's a timetable. I didn't know what it was exactly, but I was wanting it. And basically my timetable was now, right now. You know, there was something that happened in me, though, when God actually opened the door to that ministry, that opened my eyes to see that it didn't matter where, how, and what I was doing to serve God. It just mattered, as David saw it, that I had my life in his hands, that I was preoccupied with following him and letting God make of me whatever he would. Shape your life that way today. May God bless you, and as you share his good news, may God make you a blessing wherever he takes you.